With the release of the 2023 Topps Update Series, we can finally double-check all their choices and see how close we can get to a real team set, because last year was a fail. All the way back in episode 4, we took a look at the cards available in 2022 in an attempt to put together a true team set for the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. Just to recap,
of the 2022 Topps set, only 81% of the cards with a player in a Phillies uniform have a player that actually played for the Phillies in that season. Only 69% of the opening day roster has a card, and only 61% of the World Series roster has a card. These numbers are not great.
With the recent arrival of the 2023 Update Series cards, we can see if they did any better this year. With the Phillies bashing their way through the Wild Card and Division Series on their way to a second straight NLCS, this is another team collectors will want to preserve, even if they fell short of the pennant. Here was the 2023 opening day roster. They began the year with 13 pitchers. The starting rotation all got cards, and that included Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, and Taijuan Walker, but also Matt Strahm, who was later moved to the bullpen, and Bailey Falter, who was later traded. Strahm's card came in with the Update Series. The opening day bullpen contained Jose Alvarado, Gregory Soto, Andrew Vasquez, Andrew Bellotti, Connor Brogdon, Seranthony Dominguez, Junior Marte, and closer Craig Kimbrell. Of those players, Craig Kimbrell got a card in Series 2. Alvarado got a card in the team set sold at the stadium, but was left out of the flagship set. Again. It was nice to see his card finally come in the Update Series, which also included Soto and Dominguez. Vasquez, Bellotti, and Brogdon all quickly ended up in AAA Lehigh Valley this year and didn't get cards, and none of them played much at all either, so no big loss. Junior Marte was up and down a number of times, and so it's a little disappointing that his card was left out. I thought Brogdon deserved a card this year after getting skunked out of a card in 2022, but Topps thought otherwise. His last card was in 2021. Because all 4 made the opening day roster, none of these guys got a AAA Iron Pigs card either, so all 4 were skunked out of 2023 cards altogether. Both catchers, JT Realmuto and Garrett Stubbs, got cards this year. Stubbs coming in with the Update Series. Fans would have revolted if he was left out again. They love that guy. Infielders Alec Boehm, Derek Hall, Josh Harrison, Edmundo Sosa, Bryson Stott, and Trey Turner all got cards, Sosa coming in the Update Series. Derek Hall went down to AAA when Harper came off the DL, and Harrison was released at the trade deadline to make room on the roster for pitcher Michael Lorenzen. Outfielders Nick Castellanos, Dalton Guthrie, Brandon Marsh, and Kyle Schwarber all got cards too, leaving out only Jake Cave. Cave was up and down to AAA all year, but Guthrie was mostly down, so I'm curious who made the choice to give Guthrie the cardboard nod instead of Cave. Of course, Rhys Hoskins got a card, but he tore his ACL in spring training and missed the season, and I hope this one isn't his last in a Phillies uniform. And of course, Bryce Harper got a card too, even though he began on the DL recovering from Tommy John surgery. There was some waste in the inclusion of Noah Syndergaard, Corey Knebel, Mark Appel, and Kyle Gibson, none of whom played for the Phillies in 2023. Gene Segura was in the stadium-only set, another wasted card. Interestingly, Cody Clemens got a card in the 2023 Topps Chrome set. He played a bunch in the beginning of the year, but once Harper came off the DL, he was optioned back to AAA. I suspect his card is here because he's a Nepo baby. His dad is Roger Clemens. A total of 45 players took the field for the Phillies in 2023. Many of them were just for a game or two, pulled up from the minors for temporary DL assignments, and the like, so no hard feelings that they were left out. After all the ups and downs of the season, here's what the NLCS roster looked like. Pitchers Jeff Hoffman, Orion Kirkering, and Michael Lorenzen don't have 2023 cards. Hoffman came up from AAA, and his Iron Pigs card is the only 2023 card available. I was hoping to see him in the update set, but alas. Orion Kerkering came up right at the end of the year, and fun fact, he has more total career postseason appearances than he does in the regular season. That's how late he came up. Topps now gave him a call-up card, so we'll count that in the win column. Lorenzen came over from Detroit at the trade deadline, and then pitched a no-hitter. Though he's not in the update series either, there is a Topps Now to celebrate the no-hitter, so we'll count that in the win column. The rotation almost checks out, as Ranger Suarez got a card in the Stadium set and in Series 2, but NLCS Game 4 starter Christopher Sanchez was left out, so we'll need to lean on his AAA Iron Pigs card. With the update series inclusion of Sosa, all the infielders are present and accounted for. In the outfield, all players are present except for Jake Cave. Christian Pache came in with the update series too. Jake Cave, you recall, was on the opening day roster, so that's a big miss. If a player is on the opening day roster and then plays all year, or most of it, there's no reason they shouldn't be included in the update series. Are you listening, fanatics? Johan Rojas was left out of the update series too, which was a shame as he had been the everyday center fielder since July. He got a Topps Now call-up card to fill the gap. The call-up card from Topps Now is a nice idea, and this is the first year I feel like it really hit its stride. New guy comes up, Topps can have a card ready in a day or two to commemorate it. They should lean into that a little bit more, making Topps Now call-up its own line, a more refined version of the first Bowman card. They're pretty pricey at about $10 each, but I think for special occasions and small print runs, this is okay. So how did Topps do this year? Inclusive of Topps Series 1, Series 2, the Update Series, and 2023 Topps Now, we can snag cards for 23 of the 26 players on the NLCS roster. 88%. That's an improvement from last year's paltry 61%. You might think that other card manufacturers might be able to fill in some of the gaps, but with the recent consolidation in licenses to Fanatics, all the other card lines have really stopped producing cards. The 2023 Bowman line doesn't offer any player that isn't also available in the Topps flagship set. Christopher Sanchez has this 2022 Panini card and accompanying Donruss Optic card, but both are unlicensed and from the wrong year in any case. And the smaller sets, like Allen and Ginter, tend to focus on just the popular players. Utilizing Topps Now, we can pick up this card, number 1002, from the clinching of the NLDS over the Braves that has Jake Cave on it, and this card, number 969 of the wildcard clincher that has Wes Wilson on it. Wilson was up and down a few times and wasn't a major contributor to the team this year, but he was on the wildcard series roster as an extra bat off the bench. He also got a Topps Now call-up card. I was hopeful that maybe Topps would release a playoff team set, but nope, skunked again. Last year, the biggest omission was Jose Alvarado. This year, it's Jeff Hoffman. He's been a lights-out bullpen arm for a big chunk of the season and was a top choice for high-leverage situations. There isn't a card of Hoffman in a Phillies uniform. There is still time to get him on a Topps Now release if anybody at Fanatics is watching this channel.
Bueller.
I like the challenge of putting together true team sets. It's harder than you think, but worth it when you can look back on a team set of cards and sense the flood of memories come rushing back. This year, that memory will include a disappointing Game 7 NLCS loss to the Diamondbacks. But there are far more good memories to balance that out. To complete my own set, I'll settle for the Iron Pigs card of Hoffman, the NLDS card with Jake Cave on it, and call the 2023 team set complete, or at least as complete as it's going to get. I'm already looking forward to the 2024 cards and the glory that is opening day. Thanks for watching. I hope your team set is complete and more. And tune in next time for more baseball card stories, legends, and lore.